Democrats suffer blow after Trump investigated paid activist Harmon ICE agent. Now watch this lady right here on this video right here in red. She's gonna expose the whole thing on camera. So watch it.
Do you have a job? Do you have a job?
Right here, right now. Can we all agree? But for her actions, we would not be happy. Right here, right now. Can we all agree? But for.
Watch this. She's gonna
Do you
say
have a job? Do you have a job?
There you go. She just admitted that she's getting paid. They are getting paid to do this writing. As you can see right here, Democrats suffer a major blow after Trump investigation paid activist Harmon ICE agents. These people out here protesting ain't really protesting because they want to get protest. They out here getting paid to do it. Let me break this again. They getting paid to do it. And all y'all people thinking, oh, she was innocent. She was a victim of Trump syndrome. No, she was a fucking paid terrorist. Back to the video.
Can we all agree? But for her actions, we would not be having this discussion tonight.
No,
that is absolutely true.
Once again, one side is painting the other side as if we are terrorists, as if we are radicals. We've got the vice president calling her deranged, a deranged leftist.
What was she doing, Lee? What was she doing?
Like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Ladies and gentlemen, get you one of these shirts, Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Let's get into this.
I said go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out the car.
See, she's terrorizing the ICE agent, taunting him. All the other boys. There you go. Boom.
That quick. That quick, he gets hit. That quick, she pulls off. He don't know if she's gonna run straight at him or whatever the case may be. They talking all that noise. They talking all that trash. And this is what happens. That woman had no business being there. It's all stupidity from these ignorant folk on the left. And it wasn't by happenstance she ended up there. We did a little bit of research. Come to find out, this woman is already a part of an ICE chasing organization.
There you go.
They getting paid to harass federal agents because of their own political agenda. That is called domestic terrorism. Let's go to. Let's go back up.
You heard that, right? She was getting paid to do that shit. Domestic terrorism. Not free protesting. She was getting fucking paid good ass money to harass hardworking ICE agents who were going out there putting their lives on the line every single fucking day. They're getting paid to follow ICE agents around and harass them. But I know a lot of dumbasses. I know I got two people in my job site where I work at will say otherwise. I was wrong. That ICE agents are the real criminals. No, they're not. They out here keeping people, us American people, safe. But we got people want to shit on them. Shitting on them for doing their job. Fucking stupid, pathetic. Back to the video.
The GoFundMe. So you got this. The nose ring says it all every time. I don't know. $1.4 million raised. $1.4 million raised. 37,000 people decided to donate to, I guess, what's left of her family. Because she's too stupid to not do all that. And people like to say, well, you know what Charlie's on campus debating in a peaceful manner legally. It is an open campus, public university. He has the right to set his table up there and have debates. Somebody killing him in that scenario is completely unjustified, uncalled for, unnecessary. This woman is chasing down ICE agents and hit one of them with a car and ended up dying as a result of a justifiable use of force. Was he trying to kill her? No, it's no evidence he was trying to kill her. It was 2 quick shots, boom, boom, and it was over. People say, do she deserve to die? That's up to God. No man can decide if you deserved to die. All a man can do is say, was I justified in using deadly force against you because you were a threat of serious bodily injury or death? He didn't even have to be afraid of dying. He could have been afraid that he would be seriously injured as a result of her weaponizing her vehicle to hit him. And police officers don't shoot to kill you. They shoot you to eliminate you as a threat. So him shooting into the vehicle twice, there's no indication that he intentionally killed her. Him getting hit was almost simultaneous with him shooting. She ended up dying as a result, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens when you do this stuff. And every time I talk about her, I'm going to talk about our hero or somebody who we should be supporting. Put my computer up. They raised $1.4 million for this woman. And that other woman with her ain't going to raise that kid worth a dime. So yeah, they finna get $1.4 million for that other woman. I want to call it a derogatory term, but I'm not. For that other woman to raise that boy to be, that's what's going to happen. He ain't got no father figure. He got a dumb liberal wearing pants and jeans like she a man, raising a little boy with $1.4 million. But instead of doing that, how about we support Nick Shirley? You can go and support Nick Shirley right here. We had 3,500 people donate to his fund. They got 37,000. I know we can get more people to come and support Nick Shirley and his security so that he can be safe doing the right thing. He ain't out there doing all that crazy stuff. Nick Shirley's doing the right thing. All right, get me back to the news. Here's another image of the group that they follow or whatever that they're a part of. Minnesota Ice Watch. Mick Stinky was a part of that group. You can see right here. And what do? In Minnesota, they're chasing down, blocking, obstructing lawful work that ICE is doing in the community. So these dummies are coordinating this stuff. When they could be doing something better with their lives, instead, these two are running around in a car trying to run over ICE agents. All right, get to the next one. Then you got them being associated with this recruiting of people to go and harass, assault, dox ICE. So more than a mother, this is what she doing. To be honest, she probably put more effort in this than being a mama. This is what they're involved in. They got a Zoom call where they're going to do a Zoom call to talk about how they're going to defeat ICE. How they're going to organize against ICE. They're organizing against a lawful federal agency conducting enforcement of laws that are on the books. If you don't want immigration law, then you vote for the laws to not be on the books. They're just enforcing the law. And the law, to be honest, is in the best interest of America. What's wrong with getting people that's illegally in our country out of the country? That's it. That are committing crimes. So we in that vein, we have clip 104, which is represented on CNN. It's just blasting these people. They like. Can I say this before we start? Why is it always the white man that only makes sense on these shows? Mostly it's none of the women, and definitely none of the black people. It's only white men that make sense on these shows. They need to get more black people on these shows, black men, so we don't just look like we all stupid. Because I can't find a black person on this show that make any sense. At least the ones they frequently present. Roll the clip.
Well, the New York Post is reporting tonight that she was part of a local organization and she was labeled as an ICE warrior. Her role was to go out and impede ICE to do videos and stalk these guys. I mean, can we not just admit right here, right now, can we all agree, but for her actions, we would not be having this discussion tonight?
No, we
that
can't
is
all agree
absolutely
that.
true.
No,
Think about
we
this.
Absolutely
Yes.
true.
cannot all agree
Oh,
that.
yeah, no,
This is
no, no, no,
bananas.
absolutely.
What is happening again
No, come
is
on.
once again,
Time out.
one side
Time
is
out.
painting the
And dumb women like her.
Dumbass
The
women
world
like
could
her.
be better without ignorant,
Dumbass
dumb
women
black
like her.
folks and dumb women. Keep these dummies off to the side, and let's bring in the good people. Let's bring in women that got common sense. That's not stupid cat ladies. And let's bring some black folks in that's just not completely stupid and indoctrinated. God dang, I'm tired of looking at these ignorant folk. Just stupid. And she gonna get stupider. But I want to comment on one thing he said. If it had not been for her actions, we wouldn't be here. Why they want to blame everybody? Why they want to blame the reaction? It's a reaction to her actions. If she had not been chasing ICE down and running over people, she'd be still alive today, wouldn't she? If George Floyd hadn't hit coke or speed or whatever he did and resisted arrest, there would be no knee on his neck. I don't know why people can't get that in their head. If Michael Brown had gotten off the side of the road and didn't try to kill a police officer, if Eric Garner didn't resist arrest on his 47th arrest, there would be no, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. You know why Brandon Tatum ain't gonna get shot by a police officer because I ran one of them over? Because I ain't gonna do it. What's he doing? Brandon Tatum ain't gonna get, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Because if they tell me to do something, I'm gonna do what they told me to do. I told my son this last night, and my son know better, but I keep putting in his mind. I say, son, you see how stupid these people are? Yeah, Daddy, I see. If a cop tell you to do something, you do it. And if they doing something wrong, you call your dad, and I'll take care of it. Or you go to court. And there's no curbside justice, because you're gonna get killed. Right, wrong, and different. Even if she was right, she's still dead. Like, it don't matter if you're right. Come on, put it back on the screen. Let him finish. Let him cook. We got a minute and a half. Let him cook.
The other side as if we are terrorists, as if we are radicals. We've got the vice president calling her deranged, a deranged leftist.
What was she doing, Lee? What was she doing?
Do you honestly want to know?
You tell me.
Okay, she was there in her car after dropping her child off at school. She was shot at 9.
Blocking 2 lanes of traffic, right?
She was not blocking 2 lanes of traffic because we both watched her wave 2 people around her car. They drove around her car, so she was not blocking 2 lanes of traffic. Then when they told her to move, she backed up and she drove. I've said this a million times. That's not the point.
What was she doing there?
The point, it doesn't matter what she was doing there. Okay, so I'm walking down the street.
Impeding legal
She was not impeding anyone.
Bullshit. That lady was blocking the road.
It doesn't actually matter why she was there. She
Oh, of
didn't
course not. It
deserve.
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
She
It
didn't
absolutely
deserve to
matters.
die.
Look.
Because you know what? If there was a de-escalation tactic, which some of the work I've been doing for the last 15 years of my career, if there was a de-escalation tactic and not drawing a weapon, there's a way. You have the license plate. Guess what? If I go, hey, you look me. You don't look over there, right? So if a man is
You
coming
look
to
me.
your car and pulling, you might not even seen the officer in front. Let me finish.
Hit the smoke alarm
And
for
she
her.
said,
She
go
was
around.
ordered
But,
to get out of
and
the
so
car.
that
Guess what?
she deserves to die.
Do you not think, have you not lost your mind sitting here?
You sound like
honestly?
you lost your mind because
No,
you're saying
are
it's
you
okay
not
to impede
seriously
law enforcement.
I'm not
Please,
saying
of
that.
course
I'm
not.
saying that she deserves.
Get back in the kitchen. Get these women back in the kitchen.
Hell, don't want to get them because they don't might not know how to cook.
They have not learned manners or common sense. They just...
Entertainment, no. Don't give them the kitchen because they damn sure don't know what they're fucking talking about, and they pay damn sure don't know how to cook. They pay don't know what to do in the damn bedroom. Okay, I feel sorry for their husbands. These women on their thing, I feel sorry for their husbands. These women are so fucking stupid. I bet you they like a husband like this. God almighty, why did I marry this bitch? God almighty, why I married this bitch? Oh, why did I marry this stupid hoe for? And they did not show her. Yeah, she paid over. Then she fucking tried to run him over. trying to say that she was blocking 2 fucking lanes of traffic. Okay? She's blocking it. She's blocking the ICE agents so they can't go in there and getting her convoy to go around her. Back to the game.
You know I'm joking about the kitchen thing. Don't get mad at me. I'm just joking. Some of y'all going, I don't follow Brady. He misogynist. No, I'm joking. Kind of. But
I wasn't.
the lady says it don't matter why she was there. Is that not a part of the investigation? So when they make a determination of guilt on behalf, or guilt or innocence on behalf of the police officer, are they not going to bring into question that her entire motive was to come there and to obstruct?
Mm-hmm.
So that plays into her mindset. If her whole motive was to go there to obstruct traffic and she's joining these anti-ICE groups, that's her motive. Just like if this guy, the ICE agent, was a part of a anti-women group or something like that, you'll be like, hey, maybe that speaks to his motive. He hates women, so when a woman does this, he acts the way he acts. Maybe it could speak to his motive. So anybody being a part of anything pre-event is invaluable in an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the other, I want to say something, but I'm trying to be a Christian. You got the other woman out there that's trying to dress like a man, and she out there antagonizing. They're out there confronting them. It's their motive. It don't matter why she there. And this is the thing, how you know either your friend, your mama, your cousin is a complete stewhead. It's when they say, but did they deserve to die? Deserving to die isn't on the plate here. Nobody says she deserved to die, but she did deserve to be shot. Now, if she died, that's, it happens. But she deserved to get shot. She didn't deserve to die. That's up to God to decide if you deserve it or not. And if you see her hell, you'll know she deserved it. But anyway, let me move on. I want to show y'all some merch on the store. If you like the Sugar Honey Iced T-shirt, we got it available for you. 26% off. We got the T-shirt and we got the hoodie. 26% off. Just put Ice 26. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. Ice 26. We got the sugar, the honey, ice, and the tea. I say it so much that I figured that I'd make a shirt, putting it out there. And if you want to get into these other products that are congruent or some that are normally bought together, you can get them. And check out our reviews. We got 22,000 5-star reviews, and you can go read them. Sometimes people don't write 5 stars, they write other stars. But go and read them and check them out and make a determination for yourself. Is this good quality product, and are people genuinely excited about supporting the Officer Tatum store? But get you one of these Sugar Honey Iced T-shirts. Let's get back to the news. Let's go to Donald Trump administration, the Trump administration alluded to. They're going to investigate these funded groups that I think are vicariously responsible for her death. When you go and you commit a homicide and somebody dies in the commission of a homicide, all the accomplices are charged with the same crime as the person who killed the victim in the case. Which means that I go and break in somebody's house and I go rob somebody and somebody dies, whether it's me or the victims. Anybody die in that, everybody gets charged with first-degree murder. And I honestly believe that the groups and the people that are behind encouraging these nut jobs to go out here and do this, they should be charged with her death. Vicariously responsible for them encouraging violent acts against ICE agents. All of them should go to jail. Roll the clip.
And as we learn more about Renee Nicole Good, who was shot and killed by this ICE agent, DHS sources telling Fox she was a Minneapolis-based immigration activist, part of the ICE Watch effort across the city. So basically what sources are telling me is this group is organized to monitor, track, interfere, and oppose ongoing federal immigration enforcement operations. They all tell each other where to meet up, they share the locations, etc. And they say, according to this investigation, before the shooting, Renee Nicole Good had followed the agents around to other locations, and then, as we saw in the video, used her car to block the roadway. Back out here live, I think this could be maybe one of the big parts of this investigation. The feds are now looking into these ICE watch groups, not just here in Minnesota, but across the country, because they're not just, quote, legal observers, these people. They're blocking ongoing operations. They're jumping on cars, and there's just a lot of chaos happening in Minnesota. So we'll see what happens for the Day of Unity, I guess.
Right, Alexis, so we know for sure this isn't just a poet just who is driving away in a traffic stop. We know she was an activist, right? We know she was part of a formal group that had training to do just this.
That's right, and that's what the feds believe is going on at other locations. You know, now that this happened too, Brian, in this neighborhood here in Minnesota, they don't believe these ICE watch groups are just going to, pack up their bags and go home. They're revved up, they're ready for the weekend. We know more protests are coming, and then there's still ongoing ICE operations. I think they think they're going to run the feds out of town. President Trump says we're not going anywhere. We support the men and women of ICE. And once they see more people getting arrested here during these lawful operations, they're going to, freak out again.
All right. Thank you so much, Alexis. Yeah, she was an ICE watch.
ICE watch witch. That's what she was. Just dumb. Here we got a text message or a note from her brother-in-law, and pretty much the gist of what he's saying. It says New Good's former brother-in-law, I guess, Joseph, has weighed in on the tragedy, telling the Daily Mail on Wednesday night that she put herself in a dangerous situation without reason. She had no reason to be there, in my opinion, he said. It had nothing to do with her. She shouldn't have been in the way. She had nothing to do with ICE agents or immigration. So she shouldn't have been there. She should have minded her own business. Joseph said Good had 3 children, including a 6-year-old son that she shared with the Air Force veteran brother, or his brother, I'm assuming, Tim, who tragically died in 2023. Her older 2 children from a previous relationship are in custody of their father. So she ain't anyway. The father, the kids. Now, I'm not saying every mama that don't have their kids is a bad mama. I would argue
was a bad
mama that don't have their kids and their kids live with their daddy would be good mamas. Because some of y'all raggedy women want to hold your kid, and the daddy is a good influence, but you want to be selfish. So you don't want to ever let them see their daddy because you want control. Because their daddy don't want you, then they can't see their kids. But good mamas, and I'm not saying in every situation, because some dudes are dirty and they don't deserve to see their kids, some of them. But I'm saying in a situation where the dad is a good man, mama a good person, reasonably, and you got kids. Sometimes when you see the kids living with their daddy and not with their mama, a lot of times it's a good woman that know that the daddy can take care of them better than I can. Or the dad is better equipped to deal with them at this age than I can. And I'm humble enough to allow my children to have a good life than for me to be holding my kids back because I'm selfish. So she could have been smart enough to let the kids go with the daddy because she's a dumb activist married to a woman. So maybe I'll give her credit with that one. So she may not just be a dirty dog woman. She may have realized that me and another woman can't raise no boys, so I let them go with their daddy. But unfortunately, the other kid that's left with the GoFundMe money, I'm assuming, is that other nasty woman, and the kid is going to have the millions of dollars, but that's her second kid that his daddy, who was in the Air Force or in the Special Forces or whatever they said on that thing, that he tragically died. So it's incredibly unfortunate that kid's daddy died and now mama died. Daddy may have died a hero, I don't know. Mama definitely didn't die a hero. Last name Good, making bad decisions. And I really don't want to be insensitive, but this stuff got to stop. Y'all got to stop this. Y'all out here dying for no...
No, but that wasn't the case on January 6th either, and they were pardoned. And just this week, they're marching down the street
to the Capitol gown. Why are you shaking your head?
Because
you
this cannot be your go-to.
But no, I'm not saying that.
On January 6th,
I am pro
Democrats said we're pro law enforcement. Today they say they're Gestapo. Which is it? Which is it?
Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Make sure y'all join me on Freedom Chat. All you gotta do is go to the App Store and jump on Freedom Chat. Let's get into this. Let's go to some sane folks. Scott Jennings and Stephen A. Smith. I'm gonna give y'all a break from insanity. We're gonna go to some common sense folk. Let's go to Scott Jennings. We got 2 Scott Jennings clips. We got a Stephen A. Smith clip. And then we're gonna get to Dan Bongino. Because Dan Bongino is back. And I know some of y'all mad at him and you hate him. But I honestly think Dan Bongino is a genuine guy. And I feel like Dan Bongino was genuine the whole time. And if you ain't never worked for the FBI, then you may need to listen to what the man say. Because all of y'all loved him. And then as soon as he do something you don't like and you don't understand, you turn on him. All right, we'll get to Dan Bongino in a second. Let's get to Scott Jennings. I want to hear what he had to say. Roll it.
Because you heard the Secretary of Homeland Security call it domestic terrorism there. Andrew McCarthy, a conservative lawyer who writes for the National Review, wrote of that, quote, "That is the kind of hyperbole we don't need from an agency that exists because of terrorism. It was established due to the 9/11 atrocities and should presumably know what it is and is not. Whether we conclude it's an attempted murder or an attempted escape, it is not a terrorist act."
Yes, it is.
Scott should know. McCarthy also wrote that he thinks that what happened was probably within the scope of the law, but he didn't like what Kristi Noem went out and said there. Did she need to say that?
Probably not. But that doesn't mean she shouldn't go out and defend the ICE agent. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't expect DHS to defend their agents who are routinely under attack around the country. We've seen hundreds of car incidents and ICE operations around the country. The correct question to be asking, I think, today is, why was this incident occurring in the first place? Why is there a convoy of vehicles, according to several witnesses, attempting to impede a perfectly legitimate federal law enforcement situation? So I think arguing about the rhetoric, perfectly fine. To me, I want to get to the root cause of why there is a group of people in this country who believe it is their responsibility to drive convoys of vehicles into perfectly legitimate federal law enforcement situations. I think some of this goes back to, frankly, John, Democratic rhetoric, because that's what they've been instructed to do by the Democrats who are demonizing these ICE agents.
By definition, this is domestic terrorism. When you use acts of violence or intimidation to push a political agenda, that is terrorism. When you're domestically in the United States of America, you are a domestic terrorist. So when a person is trying to obscure or detract lawful action by ICE agents by using threats, intimidation, and blockades of vehicles and attempted to run one of them over, you can say she turned the wheel at the last minute. It don't matter. She still made a furtive effort and she hit him with the car. You want some of this merch? We got the coldest merch in the game, the best printers in the game. You can get you an ICE thing, or you can get you one that says "Don't F with the U.S." That's my favorite shirt. We print that right now. I can't wait to put it on and wear it. And the shirt I got on right now, pretty fire too. But if you want to go to some of our best sellers, some of our fan favorites, jump on there and get it 26% off. 26% off. So when a person is trying to obscure or detract lawful action by ICE agents by using threats, intimidation, and blockades of vehicles and attempted to run one of them over, you can say she turned the wheel at the last minute. It don't matter. She still made a furtive effort and she hit him with the car. That's an act of domestic terrorism. Nobody got hurt at January 6th, but they call all them terrorists. They said it was domestic terrorism in a insurrection when people just walking around the Capitol taking selfies. But this is not an act of violence. All right, roll the clip.
And I think there's some details we don't know yet, and we'll have to learn more about it. What strikes me is, first of all, it's extremely sad and unfortunate that someone died. I mean, the political fighting and disagreements aside, it's terrible. You don't want people to die in law enforcement situations or otherwise. But it strikes me that we are undergoing an epidemic of political vigilantism right now. Why are people showing up in vehicles, in convoys, not just in Minneapolis, but all over the country in an effort to obstruct lawful federal law enforcement activities? This is not an isolated incident. We have had hundreds of car rammings against ICE agents all over the country. According to DHS, this lady in this car today, along with other vehicles, had been tracking ICE agents around. Why are people believing that they can drive their car into a federal law enforcement situation and that is an appropriate thing to do? I understand they don't like the fact that these agents are enforcing existing immigration law, but that's not how we change laws in this country. If you don't like a law, you talk to the politicians. You don't drive your car into the middle of a building or a law enforcement situation that's being occupied by the people who are simply there to enforce the law. If I don't like how much the IRS is charging me in taxes, I don't drive my car into the Treasury Department and try to run somebody over. I call my congressman. Political vigilantism is being encouraged by Democratic officials like the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, who earlier this year told people to, quote, put your bodies on the line, and Tim Walz calling these guys Gestapo all year. What do you think happens when you radicalize a base of people about this? Does that mean you can impede a law enforcement officer?
No, but that wasn't the case on January 6th either, and they were pardoned. And just this week, they were marching down the street to the Capitol again. Why are you shaking your head?
Because
you
this cannot be your go-to.
But no, I'm not saying that.
On January 6th,
I am pro law enforcement.
Democrats said we're pro law enforcement. Today they say they're Gestapo. Which is it? Which is it?
No, I will say the vast majority of Democrats are pro law enforcement, and we believe that law enforcement.
He says they're Gestapo.
Let me finish.
He says they're Gestapo.
Scott,
do you agree?
Scott, let me finish. I do not agree. Let me finish. Many Democrats, and the vast majority of them, are pro law enforcement. They believe that law enforcement should actually get the training that they deserve and they need. Hold on, I'm not done. Hold on.
Yes, I know.
Let me tell you.
Stop implying that he's not trained.
In Minnesota,
he was dragged by a car last summer.
They
call them the Gestapo, Sochi.
They're pro law
enforcement now. They call them murderers. They call them Nazis.
But why is it one rule for ICE? And why is it another rule for the Capitol Police of the Republican Party? Can you answer that question?
I have the same rule for all law enforcement. I think we should respect all law enforcement.
Has two rules.
You all have select one day a year. One day a year you like the cops.
Well, look,
the other 364 days you call them the Gestapo. That's the Democratic position.
That is not the Democratic position.
Mic drop. Mic drop. I don't get to say I don't like how much taxes I'm getting paid and drive my car into the Treasury. Like he said. You don't get to do that because you don't like what they're doing. I don't like Katie Hobbs. She a trashy government. I want to say the other word, but it was a cuss word. And I know it's somebody's family is watching this. I can't stand Katie Hobbs with her sorry self. Look like she disheveled every time she get on TV. A hot mess. Terrible governor. I'm not going to do nothing to her. I'm just going to vote her out. What are we saying here? Stephen A., come on the show. Let's see what Stephen A. has to say, and then we're going to cover Dan Bongino. I think we're going to get up out of here. Stephen A. wrote a clip.
I saw the video on numerous occasions. And seeing what transpired, from a lawful perspective, as it pertains to a law enforcement official, don't expect him to be prosecuted. He was completely justified. From a humanitarian perspective, however, why did you have to do that? If you could move out the way, that means you could have shot the tires. That means you could have got her a few feet away after you shot the tires, and if you were unsuccessful in doing that, you could have got her down the road. You didn't have to do that. She wasn't driving down the road coming at you 90 miles an hour. She was parked in the middle of the street. And rather than get out the car, she wrongfully tried to drive off and wrongfully disregarded law enforcement official, which is exactly what ICE is. And as a result, lost her life because of it. I'm here to tell you that at some point in time, you got to ask yourself, what damn country do you want to live in? At some point in time, we're going to have to ask ourselves that question. And I think the time is sooner than later. Because again, from a legal perspective, Don't expect this ICE officer to be prosecuted. I'm telling you right now. She was in the car, Renee Nicole Good, 37 years of age, protesting, blocking off the streets. ICE wanted her to move. An officer got in front of the car. Another officer got to the side of the car, and then she tried to take off. And in their eyes, the Kristi Noems of the world for the Department of Homeland Security, and other folks on the right are saying, yo, they consider it an act of domestic terrorism because she tried to run over an ICE officer. It's not going to be prosecuted. My point is, let's not focus on that for a second, okay? She was wrong to drive off. She should not have done that. Should have got out of her car to prove that she was not going to be any harm, or she should have asked the officer, I'm pulling over, could you move out the way, please? Instead of trying to disregard him totally to the point where you're going to take off and potentially hit him, and he moves out the way and draws his gun and shoots through the front windshield.
Hold on.
And took her out.
Stephen A. I love Stephen A. He's right about 90% of it. I think he didn't watch the video. I don't want to play. Do we have that other one? That number 2 angle? We don't have it in the system. Y'all done seen it already. I mean, he was in front of the car. And people can argue, should he been in front of the car or not? It don't matter. He could be in front of the car if he wants to. You shouldn't be driving off anyway. They told you to stop. It's a lawful order. But he clearly shot her when he was in front of the car. And she hit him. And yeah, when you look at the tires begin to turn this way, but man, when you're in the middle of this, you can't tell if she gonna turn them tires this way or that way. You can't, you tell her to stop. What is she willing to do? How far is she willing to go? And when the tires started peeling out, and I guess the officer that ended up shooting her got drugged by a person in a vehicle not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.